Hi, it's Mike from the Off-Grid Kitchen. Welcome. If this is your first time on the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below anything you want to learn. On this channel, we talk about how to cook off-grid, make an income and everything else in between. And today what we're doing is we're going to test the good old Delta Ecoflow out. We're actually going to see how much energy I actually use on a daily basis, living my life from my first coffee in the morning to a cheeky dairy-free dessert at night. So we're into our first coffee for today. So let's get this going. Let's turn the power on. I'm a fan of decaf coffee. If you like your decaf coffee, I love this Byron-based stuff. It's probably the best you can get. It's locally made here in Australia. I always wondered why they made these bags this size until I bought a coffee machine. Because it fits perfect on top of your coffee machine. So why don't you just make them bigger? Fresher. Cool, we're in there. So let's grind our beans up. So I'm not normally a milker, I don't normally drink milk, but I'm just doing this purely for the exercise for you guys that drink milk to see how much energy it actually uses. So let's froth up our milk, get it going. So these little Deltas, they're a great little device. They've got 1.3 kilowatt hours of usable capacity in them for storage, and they've got an 1800 watt inverter. Go. Our milk's firing up. Done. So who said you can't have your flat white and your latte off-grid? So moving on to breakfast. Now one of my favourite breakfasts is Vegemite, avocado, eggs on toast. So we're going to whip this up. So what we'll do, we'll get the eggs cranking first. Start this up. Whoop, put it all in there. It's okay. Now, I love these little induction cooktops. They're really energy efficient and really controllable. If you do have a really small off-grid kitchen, I'd highly recommend look at one of these rather than gas. They're a couple of $100 and you'll be able to use your solar system. Now here's a bit of a trick I learnt. When I first started, one of my first jobs was at Kempsey McDonald's here in Australia. And how McDonald's actually cook their eggs, are actually, they steam them pretty much. So I love doing this. Bit of water. That'll just help steam that and make them actually cook faster. So it's just about being a bit more energy efficient. Having this on the top is going to help them cook a little bit quicker. Now bread. Bread's actually one of my favourite things I actually love making. I love making good damper. But if I'm going to buy bread, Abbott's here in Australia, their light rye is actually one of my favourite breads. The kids love it. It's pretty healthy. Now with the Delta right now, if I did turn the toaster on, we'd probably have a small blackout. So we don't want to do that. I reckon we're almost good to go. So pause that, put the toast down, get it cooking. Now Vegemite, if you're not from Australia, you don't understand Vegemite. It's a yeasty product. Salt, I love it because it adds that salty flavour to your breakfast. So it's more you get that real salty taste from this yeast extract. I was told once it was actually made from leftovers from VB, which is an Australian beer here, which is actually 100% solar powered these days. And these are little cast iron Oz Iron. So they're actually a cast iron pot made from spun steel. Well, it's actually one bit of steel. So it's actually not cast, it's a bit of steel that's moulded into position. Really cool technology. An Australian invention. You can actually buy them here in Australia and overseas. I love these. You get all the benefits of cast iron, but they're a really light pot or pan. Done our eggs there, just how I like them. Done, so we've got our toast done. Let's get it buttered. This is butter made by my mother-in-law from her farm. She's crazy, she's 70 years old. Still goes and milks a cow every day to make her own butter and milk for someone that doesn't drink milk. It's pretty crazy. That she looks after us with all the produce, and the eggs are actually from her farm as well, which is pretty exciting. My mum was surprised I actually still eat Vegemite as a kid. Got a haircut once and the lady cut my ear. And she gave me a Vegemite sandwich to apologise for cutting my ear. And she put that much Vegemite on it and made me sick. And I didn't like Vegemite after that, but somewhere along in life I fell in love with it again and can't get enough of it. Oh. Go. Get rid of that. Now there's a couple of different ways you can do this. I'll give you both examples. A lot of people like to spread it out and mash it on 2 bits of toast. I'd recommend if you're going to use cutlery, do it this way. I personally, it's my energy efficiency saving. I don't like to use cutlery to help and save an energy. Less cutlery, less washing up. So I just love to get it. You can whack some extra salt and pepper on it, or you just fold it up, no cutlery needed. Done. Okay, we're on to coffee number 2 for the day. So let's get this going. Whoop. Turned on my help, eh? Now, if you are a coffee drinker, these are actually more energy efficient to use this than actually boil water. Long black, no milk is how I like to have it. Cool, now for lunch we're having a steak sandwich. We're gonna go at the good old George Foreman grill. We're gonna crank it up. So we'll just turn the power on here and we're gonna whack it up. Whoa, turn the sear function on, we're done with that just right now. Minutes. We'll give it a crack for 8 minutes and see what that does. Go over the temperature. Just turn up really hot. Here we go, and turn the sear function on. So we'll let that get hot. Now with the Delta, it's only an 1800 watt inverter. The George Foreman pulls 1600 watts, and the toaster pulls about 1100 watts. So we actually can't have them both on at the same time. So this is in this situation, if you've got a small system, you're required to think about what you're gonna do, and you can do it. It doesn't take that much effort, it's just about thinking about things so you don't have an overload and have a blackout. Now, if you're interested in knowing more about the Delta, you can check out the video link below to get into more specific details about this Delta. We love using the Delta for these examples because it's a really good, it's a perfect size, small little system. 1800 watt inverter, 1.6 kilowatt hour battery in it. The newer ones actually have a smaller battery, so be aware of that. Yeah, they're ideal for us for doing this to show in a small little off-grid system of what you can get away with. We're good to go. These little Deltas, they're basically designed for camping and caravanning things, a little portable generator. They're actually designed to compete against a Honda 2.0 generator. So they've got an 1800 watt inverter. Ideally, when you run them flat out, they'll last about 45 minutes of time usage. But to charge them, they're really simple. You just require a kettle cord, like an IEC cord, like a computer cord. Just plug into the wall, which they do come with one. Or if you've got a solar panel, you can whack a solar panel into it. What's really good about the Deltas, a lot of the small solar products on the market, they can't take a typical house panel. It's necessary to go out and buy a really expensive 12-volt solar panel. What's really good about the Deltas, they take a really high voltage, so you can grab any house panel, so you can jump on Craigslist or Gumtree or whatever you find your favourite second-hand marketplace, and grab yourself a second-hand house panel, throw it in the back of the camper and take with you, and you can plug in and charge the Delta. Now I've just turned that off. It's actually only on for 6 minutes, not the 8 required. So that looks pretty cooked. Now we've turned that off, we can now turn our toaster on. It's good for the steak as we can sit there and get a little bit more cook inside, just use that extra heat. What I've learnt with cooking off-grid over time is that things hold heat, so you can turn things off early and just let it simmer or do whatever it requires to do to get it to that last final point. There we go. Perfect. Oh, that's so good. Glad I've started going back to the gym. Now, did you know that the UK is actually one of the world's largest beetroot exporters in the world, and hardly anyone from the UK eats beetroot? Have a think about that. Steak sandwich for lunch. So we've had our 2 coffees, we've had breakfast and we've had lunch. Now we want to make this as realistic as possible, and it's time to cook a dinner. And the reality is I don't cook dinner. So I'm going to get my beautiful wife Sarah to come in and cook me dinner. Let's go.
Hi guys, how are we? All right, so we're cooking palak paneer.
Yes, so Sarah's going to whip us up a palak paneer. This is one of my favourite Indian recipes. It's a vegetarian recipe and it's great. One of the hardest things with recipes is actually to find the palak paneer, the paneer cheese. And we're lucky in Lismore. I think there's more Indian restaurants and shopping centres here than anywhere else in New South Wales. So one of the local fruit grocers, he's the Indian family that run it, and they keep paneer there all the time, which is awesome. So we're going to whip one up.
We're using the Thermomix. Get it out for a second. Smells good. It's a lot of spinach. Gotta pack it in there.
I love baby spinach. It's my favourite.
This will give me a boost. Bit of iron.
I like Popeye. So, yeah, so you're going to do the rice in that. Well, why don't we get the other one out and do the rice in the other one? We'll give it a crack. Because I'm impatient. I'm on wait. I'm hungry.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We'll get the other thermal. Let's crack. We could do some overloading here, but we'll see how we go.
We'll see what happens.
Done. So we boiled the rice in Thermomix number 2, and we did have a blackout, which I was really impressed with. So I've actually never done that before. I was like, could have screwed up a whole day's worth of filming. But anyway, it worked out, so which is good. Both Thermomixes, the Delta run, both really impressed with. And we actually boiled the rice and cooked the black paneer in one go, which is cool. So
That's right, we've got less than a minute remaining on the black paneer.
done. All right, well let's grab a bowl. fresh some rice. What we do? Rip it round. So I'm really impressed with the little Delta. So if you're really interested in having a look at the specs of this thing, they're great. You can use them as a backup in the situation. I suppose the only real thing pretty much we haven't done today on the Delta that we normally have with all stuff, just your fridge. And fridges are one of those things that it's really important to check. Forget about the stars. Everyone's like, oh, the stars, the stars, the stars. Forget about the stars. Every year the stars change. What you want to look at is how many kilowatt hours per year it uses. So if you look at something, and I'm just going to use round math here, simple. If you look at a fridge that's got 365 kilowatt hours on the door, divide that by 365 days a year, 1 kilowatt hour per day. So currently the Delta, we've used 50% of the battery right now, so we've pretty much used almost half a kilowatt hour. And then you whack your fridge and then you've used 1.5 kilowatt hours for the day, which is pretty good when you think about it. You know, our fridge does use a little bit over a kilowatt hour a day. We've got a big fridge. I think it's about a 600 or 700 litre fridge now. Double check into that. What I don't like about our fridge, which I really want to test this, it's got one of those ice machines in it. The bloody thing uses 2,000 watts in the middle of the night freezing the ice, so it's just crazy. And you can't turn it off, literally. It comes on a day and overnight, twice of a night, so it's annoying. So it hammers the batteries in the middle of the night. But yeah, look at the energy rating in your fridge. A 440 litre family fridge, we use about a kilowatt hour per day. So really, if you think about it, the Delta's getting to the point that we've got dessert to still go. And I'm pretty confident that we could run a fridge and all these cooking devices off one of these Deltas, which is a bit over a kilowatt hour of battery storage available out of the battery. So call the plaque paneer.
Yeah, it's all done.
Let's go. Cheese and rice.
Spinach. So for that, black paneer is a cheese and spinach curry. I had a lovely friend in Sydney,
awesome.
Minjel, who introduced me to this. I was vegetarian then.
Yep.
And her husband owned an Indian restaurant in the city in Sydney. And she said, yeah, you've got to try this black paneer, and that was it. I've loved it ever since.
Yeah.
A few times.
And there's, you know, these guys own the restaurant with it. It's in Piedmont. We can actually put the link and name down below in the description.
Yeah,
I can't remember it. But going to a restaurant with the owners that own the restaurant was a pretty cool experience. They just ordered the best of everything. And, you know, me being Aussie, I'm always like, give me the thing I know, show me the picture. But yeah, they literally ordered some weird stuff they wouldn't normally eat. Not weird, but just things different
to us, yeah.
and amazing. Every little bit of it was amazing. So.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we're cooking the dinner, and now we're gonna get the dessert going. So let's go. Okay, now we're on to the final meal of the day, dessert. Now, even though I look like I eat dessert every single day, I don't. So what I love about the Thermomix is literally custard's one of those things that I would never have made before in my life until I got a Thermomix. What I'm going to do is going to throw all this stuff in here, press the button to go, and then we're done for the day. So let's go. Cool, so now 12 minutes later. All right, let's get this out. Get it all out, let it all cool down. That's good. So in recap, if there's some stuff in the video that you haven't really understood, like one of the most important lessons is go check out a video below called the watt hour. Now, watts and volts and amps, sort of stuff can be confusing. It is one of the most valuable lessons you will learn. If you can really understand the watt hour and apply that to when you're out buying energy efficient appliances or trying to buy a solar system or go off grid, whatever, that will be the most valuable lesson you ever learn in your life. So really put some attention. There's a video link in below and a card up top here, which you can click on and go watch the video on the watt hour. In essence, if you think about this, so the Delta, it has a 1300 watt hour battery in it. We've used a bit over 50% of that battery. So we've used about 700 watts, 700 watt hours we've actually used. Now in financial terms today in money, here in Australia, if you're buying that energy from the grid, we would have used about 20 cents of energy from the grid to do everything that we did today, is the reality. So the key to living off grid and being energy efficient is energy efficient appliances. It is the best money you'll spend doing any of this sort of stuff. So like I said, jump down below, check out the video of the watt hour, and it will be the most valuable lesson you ever learn when it comes to electricity. I guarantee you that. Thanks for watching and have a great day.